What the fuck is that? Fucking spider, man. Goddamn demon. I'm not lying to you guys. Look at this. Look at that. There was a spider crawling across my floor. I don't. Jesus Christ. Hey there guys, welcome to this week's all-new show, and I haven't thought of a name for it yet. I honestly, my wit is dry. I sound like I'm going through male menopausal right now. Yeah, I don't know what to call it. Flicks fun time? And then again, I have that reserved for something else I do. And real quick, before we jump into the movie news and the questions from all of you, I put a video up a few days ago, and YouTube, you know, has absolutely no technical problems ever. It just works like a charm, and it's perfect. So anyway, if you're one of the lucky ones that didn't get my latest video in your sub box, click here to check that out. You know, maybe go grab a Coke and some, I don't know, Ritz crackers. No, not Ritz crackers. Who eats just Ritz crackers? That's a very dry, salty taste. You don't want that. Let's see. So first up in the movie news, and it's been talked to death, but you know what? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the nail in the coffin, and I'm not gonna bury it. I'm gonna put it in my garage. I'm gonna freeze it over the winter, and then I'm gonna take that corpse out and have my way with it next fall. So I think it's obvious by now, George Lucas hates his original Star Wars movies for whatever reason. I mean, we all love them, but he hates them. I think he wants to take all the original prints, throw them into a garbage can and burn them. So a few changes that gray-haired, flannel-wearing rapist made to these, that was a bit harsh. I'm going to stick with it, though. I'm not going to edit that out. Is he added a voice overlay to Darth Vader when he picks up the Emperor and throws him over the endless pit, which, by the way, why would they construct that? I mean, it's just like, what a waste of space, you know? I mean, but what George Lucas did is he added, no! And he didn't just do it one time, he did it 2 times. No! But it's not only the changes, it's where he got the audio from. He took it, he just ripped it from Revenge of the Sith. It hurts me a little bit because it's an iconic scene, and it didn't need to be screwed with, tampered with, and basically have George Lucas put his greasy, smudgy fingers all over it and make it filthy. And another change Lucas made was making the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi blink. And I'll be honest with you, I don't mind that one. That's fine by me. I think it, you know, it almost adds a little bit of emotion to it. You know, we had the technology, we can do it. I'm sure that's what they originally wanted to do. So yeah, I'm okay with that one. I'll live with that. Now, I know these changes really turned everybody off from buying the Blu-ray set, and I'll be honest with you, it turned me off a little bit too, but then again, it's not the first time I went in half limp, and I had to buy it. On a side note, if George Lucas wants to go back and digitally remaster everything and replace things and add things, go back to The Phantom Menace and just digitally erase Jar Jar Binks. You know, I don't need anything to even take his place. I'm okay if the actor's just talking to the air. It's fine. I can live with that. That's better than watching that 6'5", I don't know what the hell that thing was. So anyway, let's get into my favorite part of the video, and that's the questions. And the first question comes from Cali Critic Reviews, and he asks me, what do I think of the new Point Break remake that's in the works right now? Point Break is one of my favorite movies of all time. Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves, Gary Busey. So anyway, this Point Break remake, what do I think about it? Well, you know what? I love Point Break, the original, so much that I'm willing to accept a remake. That's fine. Give me a little bit more of what I need, because that whole genre of the, you know, the heist, bank robbery, action movie with a couple tough guys, and they're very cliched to an extent. Bodhi was a very spiritual individual, and Johnny Utah was a punk quarterback. But the remake will never be as good as the original Point Break. It won't even be close. But you know what? If it can just get a fraction of a fraction as good as the original was, I'll be entertained. But here's the only thing I hope they don't do with this remake. I hope they actually make it feel like a real movie. I hope they don't just make it feel like a music video for MTV. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys seen the movie Takers, right? Alright, the next question comes from Elise Noel, and her question is, who is your favorite superhero and which one would you like to be? Well, you know what? Wow. You know, I could be Superman. I could be Superman and have all these magical powers and be able to fly around. But, you know, that's just not going to work for me because his personal life, it doesn't really do much for me. But I would like to be, how about this? I'd like to be Batman. And here's why. Batman's rich. He has a great sex life. And he gets to kick some ass. And he has all these cool gadgets and...
Where is he? Justice.
Oh, and Batman has a butler. You know, Superman doesn't have a butler. When I'm hungry at 3 o'clock in the morning and I want my frozen pizza, I'm going to call Alfred. He's going to bring it up to me. And yeah, so there you go. The next question comes from the LA Pit Fighter, and his question is, what did you think of Married with Children, the 1990s TV show? You know, I loved Married with Children because when I was growing up, my parents were divorced, and my dad was, he didn't have cable, so I always remember going over to his house, and it was either watching Married with Children or reruns of MASH. But on a side note, I love the way Christina Applegate looked back in the early 90s. Something about the early 90s women, or people used to call them chicks, that doesn't make any sense, but their big hairdos and their Daisy Dukes and their tank tops. And you know what? I don't know why. I just always really liked the way early 1990s girls looked. But that's for another time. I mean, honestly, the price of Blu-rays scare me sometimes. I mean, I see great brand new Blu-rays at Best Buy sometimes for like $10, and it scares me because it's just like, are these people making a profit any longer? And if not, how long are they? Is this just a quick cash grab to get it while they can? And I don't know if there's some kind of conspiracy going on with the pricing. It almost seems too cheap sometimes. You know what I mean? I mean, we have entertainment that is cheaper than necessities in life. You know, toilet paper and a gallon of milk almost cost more than a Blu-ray. Who would ever thought that? And the last question of the day comes from Brad Tragic, and he asks, what do you think are some of the best looking older Blu-rays? Well, here's what I did. I went through my collection, I just grabbed 3. I didn't really sit there and ponder it for a long time. I just grabbed the first 3 that came to my mind. And here's some of the best older Blu-rays I've seen. Taxi Driver, of course, is a 4K restoration Blu-ray. It looks great. I mean, they restored this thing right. You know what I mean? They did everything right. They took their time. And this is like sitting down in the theater back in the late 70s and watching this movie for the first time. I mean, I wasn't alive to do that, so I'm guessing, but at least that's what I tell myself. But anyway, a great looking older Blu-ray. Next up, 2001: A Space Odyssey. This is I mean, this was shot on 70mm, I think, film, and that's a very high definition film stock. And if I'm completely wrong right now, just don't correct me, just let me keep going. But anyway, the resolution in this movie, I mean, it's all there. This movie looks like it was shot just a few years ago. And I talk more about that in my latest video, which you guys probably didn't see once again. But anyway, click that link once again. I'm going to put it right there. But yeah, I talk about this movie a little bit more. That's a great looking older Blu-ray. And the last one is Bridge on the River Kwai, which is another 4K restoration. And then 4K restoration means basically that's almost to the top. You know, that's the highest resolution you can kind of use to transfer the film to a disc. I hope I'm making sense right now. I'm probably not, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. But anyway, Bridge on the River Kwai, this is a late 50s film, okay? And it looks great on Blu-ray. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching this week's show, and that's right, I'm gonna call it a show. We can call it a video, I don't know, either one works. But anyway, thanks for the questions, and remember, if you guys have any topics or questions you guys want me to answer or discuss, I will do that next Tuesday in the next show, so make sure you ask those down below. I'm John with the TheFLICKpick channel, and thanks for watching.